Please be seated. This year's student speaker is David Kajiwara. Dave was born and raised in Hawaii to a Japanese mother and American father, and he is fully fluent in both Japanese and English. Dave has served as pastor of a church in Kobe, Japan for the past 10 years. I had the pleasure of getting to know Dave as he worked through the New Testament track a few years ago. Following his completion of the New Testament coursework, Dave and I continued to meet over Zoom on a regular basis over years, just to stay in touch with each other and to catch up on each other's lives. Dave has shown himself a faithful laborer in a particularly difficult patch of vineyard, and I have been deeply impressed by his commitment to the Lord's work among the Japanese people. He has been one of the top students in all of his classes, even as he's maintained a healthy balance between family, ministry, and seminary studies. And speaking on a more personal note, it's been a great delight to me personally to walk with him and to observe the careful, thoughtful way in which he has sought to bring his seminary studies to bear upon the challenges of pastoring and shepherding his people in Kobe. I feel honored then to be able to introduce to you this year's student speaker, Pastor Dave Kajiwara.
Hi, my name is David Kajiwara, and I can't believe that we are graduating today. It feels so surreal to say those words, because 5 years ago, when I applied for this seminary, I was 5 years into my marriage. I had 2 small boys in tow. I was 5 years into my church plant, and I was teaching English part-time. So I have no idea what I was thinking, adding seminary to the list. But I remember that first year, I went for a 1-week intensive to Charlotte, and it took me exactly 24 hours from the moment I left my apartment here in Kobe to the time I arrived in Charlotte at the Lidowers, who graciously opened their home for me. That first day, during the kickoff luncheon, I watched as my Old Testament survey professor, Dr. McDowell, came walking into the room, and she sat right next to me. And we had a very interesting conversation about life here in Japan, about the culture here, about how difficult it is to evangelize to a nation whose Christian population is less than 1%. And as we were finishing the lunch, she mentioned to me that she knew a fellow professor who actually lived here in Japan, named Dr. Wheaton, and I was so excited to meet with him, and we were able to do that, if only briefly. He would become my academic advisor, and throughout the years, I would have numerous Zoom meetings, and we would chuckle about this even now, that I would just cry, grumble, complain to him about how hard and stressful life was becoming. But he would tell me, and I could still hear those words of him saying, don't lose the momentum. If it is at all possible to take just one class to do it. And somehow I managed, and I'm here, and this is what the Gordon-Cromwell community exemplifies for me, which is not only do they excel in academic rigor, but they also are keenly interested in us as students, caring for us to excel in how God created us. Our calling to fulfill that in each and every one of our lives. And so to that, I'm truly grateful. But I'm also grateful to my family, my wife and 2 kids who have put up with me these last years, and my church family who have been very supportive, and how they have mentioned throughout the years of how my messages have become increasingly more powerful, and they can feel God's authority behind them now. And so I am truly grateful to be standing here in front of you all. I'm very humbled to be giving you having given this opportunity to give you this speech today. But I am more grateful that I can be recording this in the comfort of my own home. I am more grateful to digital technology, which has allowed me to not have to look at all of you stare at me, because I'm so used to seeing all of you as thumbnails on my Zoom screen. I am so grateful that I don't ever have to frantically search for that Zoom link 2 minutes before class. I am so grateful that I will never have to play back our lectures at 1.5 speed 10 minutes before dinner. I'm so grateful that I'll never have to parse random Hebrew or Greek words in my sleep. But I'm truly grateful for how you have impacted my life. And I am just one out of many who are graduating here today. So to the graduates of 2021, as it says in Isaiah 60 verse 1, arise, shine, for your light has come and the glory of the Lord has risen among you. It is now our time to contribute, to give back to the world what you guys have provided for us, what you have given to us. So thank you all very much, and God bless.